Conversation with Jocks, where we give you positive perspectives on our daily encounters.
Real talk.
Yeah, this Jay.
Big O in the house.
Yo, this is C.
Welcome to Conversations with Jocks. I'm your host today, O, and we got a wonderful show for you going down. It's going down today.
Let's get it.
Okay.
So before we get started, Big C, how you feeling?
Feeling good.
Okay.
Lots going on, but you know.
Awesome. I know we were very expectant to do this episode. It's going to be a great show today. So let's hop to it.
Cheat code for the day is dirty water don't stop plants or flowers from growing. So don't let people's words stop you from getting where you need to go. Let's go.
Plain and to the point.
Makes sense. That makes sense. That's the right attitude that I would take on something like that.
Absolutely. We got to find a way to get your oxygenated water in your system.
Right. Don't worry or let it get polluted by what other people say.
Basic, straight up. Excellent. All right. So let's get into the main topic today. C, what do you have for us?
So main topic is get yourself away from the poor man's mindset.
Explain that. Wait a minute. You said the poor man's mindset.
Yeah.
Now listen, we not trying to offend anybody, but let's be a little bit more specific when we're talking about a poor man's mindset.
And
what does that mean exactly?
And that's good. I'm glad you're asking. So my question to you guys, when you hear that, what do you think a poor man's mindset is?
For me, I understand, I've been on a journey of better understanding how to understand finances and how different people understand money and finances and how it works. And there is, I've been on this journey. There is a difference between a mentality that's basically a poor man's mentality and a mentality that is a mentality of wealth. And so I started the journey, but I'm just so excited to hear where this thing goes because I just want to keep growing and learning.
And what about you, Jay?
Well, as soon as you said poor man's mindset, automatically I'm thinking some dude, living under a bridge. You know what I mean? But just hearing what O said to me, it's making it's coming across a little bit more clearer.
Okay.
Of exactly what you mean. You know what I mean? But I'm definitely going to need you to get in there and explain to me exactly where we're going.
And both of you guys have a view, and I want you to keep those two views. Like when O said about certain thing about mindset, about having a way of thinking and compare it to something of a wealthy man's mindset. And when you hit on about somebody under a bridge, that's where you're going to be if you have that mindset. Now, just because that person's under the bridge doesn't mean that someone who's gaining or have a lot of earned income don't have that same mindset. Just because you have money doesn't control the mindset. It's how you use the money. So the first question to me, to you guys is, what is the purpose of money?
Uh-oh.
Hey, let me go first.
All right.
Let me go. The mentality is money is to be spent.
Okay.
That's the average thinking, right? Mm-hmm. The average thinking, I get money, I spend it. I get money, I pay all my bills, and then go have a little fun, right?
Okay.
Yes. I definitely had that understanding. So I'm in the midst of the transition. So the purpose of money, I thought, was just to pay your bills and to purchase a lot of nice things for yourself, purchase some things.
Okay.
But then I understand, or I got the understanding that the purpose of money is to get more money. But I'm learning and growing.
Right. So just like when you were saying, Jay, a lot of people, we're programmed to think this way. From the time we hit school, this world wants us to be consumers. We want
Consumers.
yes, they want us to be in a position to spend money. So when you get money, it's spent. You understand? It's like I only see money as a tool to get more goods, get more service, or entertainment. So if you have it, you're gonna spend it.
And that's why we ball till we fall.
And then the key word is fall.
Yeah.
If you're saying that you want to fall, then you're gonna keep this mindset of money coming in and money going out.
So we want to remove the fall out of balling.
Right. And think about it, right? And we can use examples like let's say somebody gets $1,000, right? And their bills for the month, let's say $1,000 for the month, and the bills for the month is $750. So you have an excess of $250. So if your mindset is, as soon as I have the money, I'm going to spend it, you have $250 to spend. So you're going to think, hey, you know what? I can upgrade my car because I can afford $250 a month.
That extra.
Right?
Yeah.
I get more, I can go out more. I can have fun more. I can eat out more. You can do a lot of things in excess because you have that money because you're thinking, I need to spend it because it's $250.
It's $250 extra.
Right. Or so if that mentality is, it's as soon as money comes in your bank account, money comes out. Right?
Right.
So what happens when the point when there's no money coming in your bank account?
Uh-oh.
What did you prepare yourself for?
Right.
So if you think that, hey, money is used to just spend, you're going to set yourself up for failure. Like you said, fall, right?
Right.
Right. And we don't want to fall.
Of course not.
So having the understanding that money is for spending is a problem.
It is a big problem.
Okay.
It is a big problem.
I got a question.
Sure.
And it tails to just what you said. If you have that extra 250 coming in,
Right.
right? And let's say we said what the bills was a total of 750.
Yeah.
Was that the number?
Yep.
So that extra 250 that you have coming in, let's say you just have enough discipline, right, to get ahead of the game. So let's say for 4 months you sit on that extra 250.
Okay.
Right?
It's on your mattress.
I mean, under the mattress,
Okay.
you leave it in the bank, wherever.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But you got that extra 4 months of that 250 coming in.
Right.
And you sit on that. Now can we ball?
But you're already balling. That's the mindset already. You have that money preparing to ball or entertain or to obtain more goods and materials for that lifestyle.
So basically, are you saying that whether or not we ball out with that 250 that 1 month, or whether we save up that 250 every month and ball out, it's still making the same mistake?
Same mistake. You just waiting and prolonging your time with it.
That's deep.
It is deep. So the moral here that I'm hearing it right now, no more balling.
So no,
fellas.
not
more
even
balling.
that. Not even that. I just wanted to, right now we just touching that mindset. So that's an excess. So what if you make 1,000 and your bill's 1,000? There's nothing to play with, right?
Right.
And this is what we call paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, which, what they say, the 70% of, or is it a little higher, 85% of Americans right now are living paycheck to paycheck?
And if that's the statistics, then everyone has that mindset. You get what I'm saying?
I'm hearing you.
So even what if you make 1,000 and you got bills and are 1,200? Then what?
You need to find a new job.
You find a new job and people, gamble a little bit different. They say, you know what, I'll pay this month or I'll pay this paycheck and then, I'll figure out next paycheck. And then, you know what, I'll be late on what I paid last month and I'll pay the other thing off.
You mean to rob and Peter to pay Paul.
Right. So you're juggling, but you never change your mindset. You just have, you're just part of a different way of thinking. Meaning that you have to pay these bills and you just have to juggle a little bit different. Mindset's changed. Mindset has not changed. You're just juggling. It's
right.
Okay, today I'm going to juggle this way. Today, oh man, I'm juggling grapes, I'm juggling orange. And now you're going to throw an apple in? Okay, I'll figure out how to juggle. But you still haven't changed your mindset. So my point is, you can make $30,000 a year. Okay. You can make $2 million. a year. If you have that mindset, you will always be broke. Just to be clear, if you have that mindset, you will always be broke.
So how do we get out of this mindset that we've been programmed to have?
So another thing is, once you have an object or tool and it's only used for one thing, you're going to use it for that one thing. So if you have a fire extinguisher, what is a fire extinguisher used for?
Put out fires.
Right. There's a fire, you grab that tool and you put out a fire, right?
Pull and squeeze.
Right. You're not using it for a paperweight. It's going to put aside for its one job, put out fires. If your mindset is money's only to be spent, when there's a bill that comes up, when there's fun that's happening, you have the money and you're going to spend it. Like the fire extinguisher, you putting out fires.
Right. Listen, and I can tell you off top, that's me right there.
Right.
My bills is paid, and when it's time to have fun, I'm going to go have some fun.
Right.
So how does one change that to get out of this poor man mindset?
So getting yourself into a wealthy mindset, you have to understand money has more utility. So you can use money for more things than just that one thing spent.
Okay. What is something else we could use money for?
I mean, you touched on it earlier. You were saying that money should be used to make more money. Right?
Absolutely.
So it's like you can give a child $100.
Okay.
They're going to buy all the candy they can, buy all the toys, and do what they can with it. But
Right.
what if you give that same child $100 and they say, you know what? I want to be in a position where I can make more money, right? I'm going to go buy a table. I'm going to buy some lemon, buy some sugar. I'm going to buy a container and make some lemonade and have my own lemonade stand. So maybe they spent $70 and now they're making more money from selling the lemonade. And then when they have enough money by, let's say, a month or so, they have the excess of $100, they can buy the candy, the toys, and all the stuff before they use that money to make more money. And the excess they can do for entertainment.
I mean, that sound good. That does sound good. But again, how do you get somebody to actually think that way, knowing the situations that they're in and the whole mentality that we've been having this whole time?
Yeah, we got to get them to listen to this podcast.
I mean,
Right. First, understand that money is used for more than one thing. It's not only used to spend. If that's the only way you see money, you will be doomed every single time because you won't know what to do with money when you get it. They say people who win the lottery with that same mindset will lose the money within 5 years. Not you can win $500,000. You can make $30 million. If you have that same mindset, you're going to be doomed. And
Regardless of the amount that we make.
doesn't make a difference.
Okay.
Doesn't make a difference. Because if you get $30 million, you say, I got more money to spend. And what is money used for? To spend.
easy.
Right. I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to buy a car. I'm going to buy a boat.
I need to put the homeboys on.
Yeah. Then it transitions to I'm going to buy a bigger house, a nicer car.
And then you're going to do a disservice. People don't understand. You're going to do a disservice to your mother because you say, I got to buy my mom a house. She has a house, right? You say, you know what? I bought myself a $2 million house. Let me buy my mother a $1 million house because you got $30 million. Or you might even buy her a $5 million house.
We talking after taxes, right?
Huh?
We talking after taxes, right?
You can put taxes, after taxes, whatever, right? You buy your mom a $5 million house. She pointed like, only reason I was working is for my house. She said, I'm going to stop working. Guess how much she has to pay in property tax alone? Any idea?
I don't have an idea.
I would probably say on a $5 million house, probably $1 million.
$1 million.
Yeah.
So a lot of times with
1.2, somewhere around there.
right. So a lot of time with property taxes, depending on state. I know other states like New Jersey it's crazy.
Right, New York, crazy.
Yeah, right. But average is like 1.1 to 2% for property tax. So you're for a $5 million home, your mother would be paying $50,000 minimum a year.
A year.
$50,000.
Right.
So you did her good. Yeah, she got a good house, but now she had to come up $50,000. And then what? She gonna come to you, say, hey, thanks for the house and all, but now
I need $50,000.
A year, every year.
Here you go, mama.
Right. And guess what? You had the money, you're going to spend it. Right? Because that's your mindset.
Right.
So when you don't have the money, what are you going to tell your mother? Can't do nothing for you?
Put the house up for sale.
Right. Well, you gave her basically a rental for probably 4 or 5 years.
A liability.
Now she's going to go back to square one. Right? I mean, she can always sell the house.
Yeah, you gave mom some problems.
Right. So now you got to think, okay, with that right mindset, you can do a lot with that money, but you'll lose it within 5 years.
All right.
You know what? Oh, wait a minute, man. That was listen. I'm kind of blown. Listen. I had to adjust my seat real quick. I'm kind of blown away by that. Mm-hmm. So I want to get into that a little bit more deeper.
Okay.
And I know we're gonna shift gears a little bit, but let's bring that back for a second. So with the poor man's mindset, again, what if you're in a situation of where you're not living paycheck to paycheck, but you're actually behind? Like you actually owe.
Okay.
Changing of the mindset, how exactly do you get out of that situation to get on the level of what you're talking
I
about?
would assume that you would have to downgrade. You would have to downgrade to, you might not be able to afford that apartment or that house that you're in. You might have to downgrade to a less expensive place. Just downgrading your expenses. So, break it down to us. How do you get that transition?
So it's like a light switch. You went from a poor man's mindset to a wealthy mindset. But the reason why you're in that position, honestly, is because you had a poor man mindset.
Right.
So now, same thing like O said, now you have to look at the whole situation and start making changes. Am I willing to make sacrifices? Am I willing to live less than I am living right now? And once you change your wealthy man mindset, it's the time for sacrifice.
Yo, that's hard though, B. That's hard though. Because and let me tell you why. And let me speak from personal experience, right? Mm-hmm. People consider me bougie.
Okay.
Right? People consider me bougie.
Well, are you bougie?
I'm not going to argue against it. I'm not going to argue against it.
Right.
Like, I like to live in certain areas, that I don't have to worry too much about, oh, did I forget to lock my door? Did I forget to lock my car? And living in these areas, it's pretty expensive. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, am I living a little bit outside of my means? It's a possibility. But it's for peace of mind, though. Now, if I have to downgrade, as you guys both said, downgrade is going to put me in a lower, the terminology is a poverty-stricken area where we know crime rate is a little higher. And the last thing I want to have to do is, use my pistol or something like that because somebody trying to get me because it looked like I'm living a little better than you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And these are all the things that come with, especially when there's kids involved. You don't want your kids really living in this type of environment because we all know, because, we all grew up together, that the environment could swallow you.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
So you have to look at it like this, right? You have to first look at the bigger picture, where you see yourself 10 years from now, 20 years from now. If you see yourself in a position that you're working and you don't want to work, you have to change. Right now, to your point is, I'm not willing to change certain things. Okay, there's certain things you're not willing to change, but are there other things that you're willing to sacrifice? So you're telling me that you're not willing to sacrifice anything. 30, 40 years from now, you're doing yourself a disservice because after your money stops coming in, you have nothing. you have nothing except for Social Security, and then your lifestyle is going to change. You may have paid off your home, but there are certain things that you are not going to provide for yourself because you have nothing coming in. You didn't prepare anything for yourself because you want to live good at that moment. If you're living for it now, you're setting yourself up for failure in the future. So you have to ask yourself, I need to make some sacrifices because you're not going to be in a position where you want to be. So let me give you an example. If you have, let's say, an income of $5,000 a month, if you can live like you only have $2,000 to $2,500 and using excess to help prepare yourself for the future, you're doing yourself a good service, especially your future self. Yes, you're making sacrifices. Yes, you're not eating out all the time. You can't go to the latest event, or you can't buy the high-end brand that's fashionable. You're making a sacrifice now for a better tomorrow. Because most of the things that you're buying right now is not even for you, it's to impress others. If you say, hey, I'm not here to impress other people, I'm not here to look stylish, I'm here solely for myself because everybody else doesn't matter.
So as I take mental note of what you're saying, because I truly want to get the wealthy mindset and to leave this poverty-stricken mindset, are you saying that the first step is to think of your future?
First step is to know what money is used for. Money is not only used to be spent. Money is used to make more money. Money has more utility. Money can open doors. Money can network. Money has more value than just one thing to be spent.
Awesome. So the number one principle we need to understand about the difference between the poverty mindset and the wealthy mindset is to understand money has multiple uses. It's just not there to pay bills.
And going back to money, a wealthy man mindset is that this is basic economics. Money is used for a medium of exchange. It is used to buy goods and services. It's a unit of account. It's used to measure worth. And it's also used to store a value. So money value can be retained over time. You understand? You have to broaden your views on how money is.
So what about for the people who have the mindset of, I don't know how long I'm going to be here, so I want to have fun now?
But they may get, I'm not sure if it's fortunate or unfortunate that they may be here. Then what?
I mean, that's the question.
So
That's the question.
If they're comfortable with not having a secured life and they're like, screw it, I didn't think I was going to live this long, then what?
I mean, I guess they'll have to deal with it now. But on the other end of that spectrum is I've been sacrificing and struggling just to save for my future, and then I don't wake up tomorrow.
We all face that every day. But what in the event that you do wake up tomorrow, in the event that you're here 10, 20 years from now,
Then you keep on pushing.
you pushing, but do you want to be in a position where you're uncomfortable? Do you want to be in a position where money is coming in where I don't have to work anymore?
Yeah, but I mean, if you're going to be, when you're struggling, you're going to be uncomfortable anyway. You're already going to be uncomfortable when you're living in a place that you don't like, driving a car that you don't like, not wearing the latest getup, you struggling, right? And then it comes down to, okay, I've did all of this for, let's say, hypothetically, 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
Right? Now I have a nice little nest egg, depending on, there's a bunch of variables depending on how much money, you've been setting aside or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
But we living in a dream. We in a dream world right now, right? You did all of that. You did all the struggling. And then on that very, let's say, the last day, tragedy strikes. So what was that? You basically been sacrificing and struggling to save money for your future, and now you have no future because now you're dead. And we all know the biggest thing that they say: dead people can't spend money.
Right. But guess what? That's a total poor man's mindset. Live for today. Enjoy right now. Screw tomorrow. That's a poor man's mindset.
Is there a happy medium?
Does it have meaning? You're talking, so what Jay just listed is all the sacrifices that he says that need to be made. Not necessarily. I don't have to live in a poor neighborhood if I balance my money right. If I make certain sacrifices. I don't have to drive a beat up car. To be financially sound doesn't mean that you have to buy a car of luxury, $100,000 car. I'm fine with a $20,000 car. I'm buying a new car. That's not trash. You get what I'm saying? So then when you make sacrifices, let's say going back to the other example, you have $5,000 a month and you live in like $2,000, $2,500. It's not to say that you're living bad, just for the example. But the excess of money, there's other ways to put it. It's not just put it in a savings account and hopefully you get money, because if you put it in a savings account, you get the 0.0001% interest. I'm not sure if I missed a zero. You put it in other things. You go into a high yield savings account where right now, since the Fed rates are going up and things are changing, that you can get up to 4% interest rate. There's other things that you invested in. You can go into stock. You have built up portfolios, things like ETFs, bonds, and index funds, where they're going to have a higher yield. You put in a higher percentage, maybe you get up to 7-8%. And over time, they're going to grow. So now you collecting dividends, you collecting interest, and money is coming in monthly.
Faster.
Yes. So now
higher.
Right. Now you send yourself for a passive income. And then you have more money to say, hey, you know what? I am creative. I have an idea. I'm going to put my money towards my idea, and to the point where now I can sell my idea. I can do things with my idea to make more money. That now is more of a passive income. Now you're going to keep doing this until the money that your earned income, your passive income, exceeds that, where you don't have to work anymore because of all the sacrifices you made. And then when you start having passive income, when you have businesses and incomes like that, you will be in a position where now I can afford to buy a luxury car and say that it's maybe towards a business and get tax breaks. Versus you just go buy it, you get nothing but a depreciation, because as soon as you buy a vehicle, its value is lost.
As soon as you drive it off the lot.
Right. So it's not saying, hey, I need to live like a bum. You just need to make sacrifices. Number one sacrifice is don't live to impress others. I'm not going to sacrifice my future to impress somebody else. Has nothing to do with my way of thinking. If you don't like how I look, that's on you, because not everyone's going to like how you look. 100% of people not going to like it. They say, well, why he bought the black hat? He should have bought the blue hat. That's more cool. So you already got somebody that you're impressed. So you're feeling already.
Oh, well, listen, I agree with that 100%. And when I was speaking on earlier, really didn't have anything to do with just impressing anyone.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's just, I like certain things. I like to, live a certain way.
Let me break it down, Jay. Let me break it down, because you have that mindset, but you're not tapping into it.
Get me.
We all grew up playing Monopoly, right?
All day.
All day.
Cheating and everything.
What's the purpose of the game?
To get all the money you can and all the property that you can.
Jay, if you don't have a Monopoly, are you going to win the game?
Of course not.
Right. So you have the Monopoly, right?
Unless you cheat and steal.
Right. And just like life, cheat and steal, right? So you have a Monopoly, right? And you have certain strategies, right? Because another thing is, you just told me you need a Monopoly. So pass and go won't make you win the game. You just said that, right?
I said that, yeah.
And if pass and go represents a paycheck,
right?
You having a paycheck every 2 weeks, every week, every month. Yeah. Is that winning the game?
No, because you still got to pass other people's property.
Right.
You duck and dodge all you want, but eventually you're going to have to pay.
Right. So you have to build up something that generates more money than the go money. Because you're going to get the go money, right?
Yeah.
You have to build up something to generate more money, right? So you would have to network. When I say network, hey, let's make a deal. Let's do such and such and such and such, right? One of the best thing that you guys done, you said, hey, you know what? C is it's a fierce competitor. We had to take him out the game.
He's the shark, right?
Right.
Shark? The shark?
We had to take him out the game and even the playing field. So you guys did something I didn't think you guys were going to do. You got together and you said, hey, I'm not sure it was the red property, the orange property. They said, hey, you have some of this property, I have some of this property. Let's get together and let's go half on everything. You said, hey, I'm going to go half on building up the hotels, half on the houses, and every time that someone lands on it, we're going to get half. Even if we land on it, we have to still pay the other person their other half. Y'all did this to get me out the game. And he said, once C is out the game, I said it in front of me like I wasn't there. Once C is out the game, we have to sell this property and start from scratch. You came up with an idea, you came up with a strategy to generate an income, to take out your opponent. This is a wealthy man's mindset. You're generating a passive income. You're saying go is not enough to beat C. Go is not enough to win the game. We need to come together, find a strategy, and make money. If you take this to life, this is a wealthy man's mindset.
Wow. So, my mind is spinning. I'm understanding. I'm learning. So basically, I imagine that let's say we have two 18-year-olds just graduated high school and is looking to make some moves in life, and so there is one mindset that says, you know what, I can purchase a nice car, maybe make $350. I'm living at home, so I don't have to worry about that. But I'm paying $300 a month for 5 or 6 years to buy this car. That's one mindset. Versus another 18-year-old who understands a little bit more about money. And that $300, he's not going to invest it in a car. He's going to invest it in something that makes him money. So, but at the end of the 5 years, the first 18-year-old will have a depreciated car. He's probably looking to purchase a new one, while on this end, this individual just invested $300 in something for 5 years that will turn out to make him money. And so I can imagine being the parent of the 18-year-old saying, yeah, go ahead and purchase your car. You get your car, you travel, you get to the job, you go here, you go there. Right. And I'm not thinking that this mindset is really a problem because it's so normal to make that decision. It doesn't even sound bad saying it. Go ahead and purchase a car, invest that money in this versus investing this way into something that can make you money.
Right. And to your point, it's easy. This is how we're trained to think. We are trained to be consumers. We are trained to spend our money. As soon as we get it, let's spend it. So that's why it's normal. This is the American dream, buy a home. But not understanding that was derived to make a profit off of you.
Wow. So as a parent, because I'm a parent, I got, adult children. If I'm teaching them that the purpose of money is to spend it, that's the reason why they want to spend my money.
Yeah.
I get it.
Oh boy. That's wild, man.
So
that's
just
wild.
like how you're trying to win the game of Monopoly, that's how you're trying to win in life. You think of other things, you think of deals, you think of strategies to get you over. You think outside the box, because if you don't think outside the box, you will never beat me. I would never beat you. You have to think outside the box. Pass and go. Getting a paycheck, it's not going to make you win the game.
That's deep.
It's very deep, especially now we're truly Monopoly lovers, and so that rings true. Awesome. All right. So we understand the first step is to understand the purpose of money is not just to pay bills. I heard one celebrity say he used his money as little soldiers to go out there and capture other soldiers and bring them back to him. He used his money to make. He used his money to make money. Also, another point is we have to think about or keep in mind of our future and not just live for today.
Yes.
So I'm gonna say it again, fellas. In other words, no more balling till you falling. No more going out trying to buy this nice car and that Gucci belt to try to impress nobody.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you heard it here. You heard it here. So let's hear your feedback. What are your thoughts about the poor man's mindset versus the wealthy or the rich man's mindset? Are there some points that you take away? Is there something that we overlooked or forgot? Please let us know. Thank you for spending time with Conversation with Jock.
All right.
And we out.
Sir.
J-O-C in the building.